matter where we at. There and back, eyes barely open. I never it once and she two. That means it's can't. But my explosive train to go, my chain to glow, everything.
Hey everybody, it's the Coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, the young gunslinger Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs as his guys get set to take on Case Keenum and the Denver Broncos. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Just a short time ago, sounds loud enough to reverberate across the Rockies. They're ready for football in Denver as the Broncos get set to do battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The numbers for Sanders last week, 7 catches, 118 yards.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that he's off to a hot start here in this first month, and those are the kind of performances you expect to see going forward.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Hitchens coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to make it 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch. Mahomes
will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's Hunt, and he'll power his way up near the 25. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Throwing now is Mahomes. And this is caught by Watkins. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a 1st down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Mahomes now to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march up another 15 against your squad.
This is Hunt. Room here to run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's 30 yards now in the last two plays. Back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space. Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. This is caught. Watkins. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the...
And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. Extra point right down the middle.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. Throwing now is Keenum. He's got his tight end, Jake Butt. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 41. Here's Royce Freeman, the first carry for the rookie. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On 3rd down, it's Lindsey, and that play went nowhere. Losing yardage, it'll be back at the 36.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So on 4th down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. And quite a bit of pizza in this box. It's a 53-yard attempt. And McManus able to put it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Adam Gotsis, the big Aussie, in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. Now Mahomes. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage to the 35. The quick slant, good for 8 and a 1st. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. 2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. Back to Denver right after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our 1st half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. McConnell's got it over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City 1st down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
And with a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Play fake there to Hunt. Now Mahomes. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss, and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. The head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled. Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. A false start penalty, and now they're back to needing 10 yards on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Throwing is Keenum on third down. Toward the sideline, he will have the first down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down in bounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. To throw, it's Keenum. Finds Jake Butt over the middle. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Give them 14 yards there and a Denver first down. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And McManus able to put it through. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and that'll bring up second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Green 90. Green 90.
Final shot before the half from Mahomes. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. So all right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
They stay on the ground again. It's Hunt. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right, you look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. He's got the hook up with Conley. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They do go for it. It's Mahomes. Thomas has got it, complete. And he will have the first down, but hold everything. A flag is down. This one might not stand. So that one will be accepted. Mahomes in the offense staying out there. They'll go for it on 4th. Here we go. 4th down, Mahomes. And this is caught. That's Watkins. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. And Thomas has it. And he'll go down at the 28. 7 yards there, good enough to move the Sticks.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. He gets it to Thomas. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL. Welcome back now to Denver. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. On 3rd down, that's Hunt. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3.5. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
As we get late in this one, is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real, and I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players, but you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver. Altitude 5,280 feet. The air is rare. Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. DeAnthony Thomas, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
All right, now a big two-point conversion attempt still to come. Now here's Mahomes. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Well, they tried to get two and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10. On first down, Keenum. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them, it's still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And the kick by Butker is good. And that one makes this a 10-point game at 16-6. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
So the Broncos coming out now. And last time, 1-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Here's Keenum to throw. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And a nice gain at 21 yards. Now it's Keenum. There he goes inside the 30. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And down to the 27-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. To throw is Keenum. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. Now Keenum. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Keenum now to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. And now before they run this fourth down play, we're going to get a timeout. As the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now Keenum, got to have this one. He's going to let it fly. And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you offside. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
Back to throw, Keenum. His pass caught at the 4. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal. Keenum to throw. And this is caught. So it's a late touchdown, but maybe too late. Still a little time left on the clock, however.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right. And if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Victory in the cards now for the Chiefs as they take a knee here. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Chiefs, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll return home next week to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they all...
They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cut the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. Look at them, how to make it in